Yeah. So I was here since Wednesday. It's Saturday morning. Last night was very strange. I didn't have a seizure, but I had a nightmare I was having a seizure. So one thing is you can't sleep in here, period. Uh, if you ever if you ever go to have one of these, sleep for like a week because they wake you up way too much. Vital signs where they stick, things in your mouth and take your heart rate. And then a little later, they'll come and ask you your name, where you are. And then a little later, they'll give you drugs. And then they'll come and bite. So you don't get sleep. You really don't. But I must have last night slept to some extent because I had a crazy nightmare where I was well aware that I was having a seizure and I was thrashing around and all this. So much so that it was like there was football involved. Like I was like having a seizure in the dream around random strangers, and then somehow it turned into like a coach with like a football team around me, which then elevated me into my actual bedroom. Like just like metaphysically, I was in the room where I'm at now, but still in my dream, and could have swore there was hands touching me of my nurses. And then I just calmly opened my eyes in the real world, and I wasn't thrashing around. They said it wasn't on camera or anything. So that was very strange because nightmare was translating in the real world, but it wasn't. But I was still aware that it happened. So that was bizarre. Like I couldn't breathe. It was like usually my nightmares are just like there's not too many, but it'd be something stupid like fear of getting a job or some shit. This one was like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get the words up, stuff like that. But it could have just been having a dry mouth from being on these drugs because I have to sleep like this. I can't, the nodes here, I can't lean on this side or this side. 13 here, 2 here. And I'm a heavy side sleeper. Like at home, I just sleep on my side. So it could have been as simple as that. I could have just been dry mouth choking, but it wasn't pleasant. The other thing was they came, so the big bag, all this stuff's attached to this guy. Whatever. You know what it looks like. All these crazy wires, right, that are in my skull. Well, they came and hooked up something to this and then ran through and sent electrical currents to all of them, all the little nodes. And again, everything was fine. They said, tell me if this, and this, if you feel anything. So I kept getting really hot. Like I'd be sitting here with my eyes closed. It took like an hour and a half. So they're talking. Every once in a while, they'd be like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm really sweaty. And then I would just cool off, get sweaty again until the very end where he's like, all right, we're wrapping up. And then all of a sudden, it was like the last 3. It was like a glitch in the Matrix. Like he goes, all right, ready? And he turns it on. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, shit. At first, it was like lights, like 3 little lights, like right here, like top, middle, corner, like a corner of my eyesight, like white flashes. So then he adjusted something, did it again. And then it was just like a straight up glitch in the Matrix, like a section of the ceiling was like coming and moving out, like, like say it was a square like this or like that, And I don't know if it freaked them out or whatever, but so they're like, okay, well, let me know when that subsides. So they did it like 3 or 4 times, actually probably 4 or 5. And each time they fixed it. They're like, you see light now? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, on to the next one. Da-da-da-da-da, glitch in the Matrix until, how about now? No, not. So that happened like 4 times at the end of the test. But the next morning today, the nurse said, oh, yeah, well, they were trying to induce a seizure with these electrodes. But they didn't say that, so I mean, I don't know. I assume that's what they were doing. Yeah, so that was actually kind of cool. I'll admit that it was trippy as hell because it didn't hurt, but like so see this brown square I'm squishing with my fingers. So imagine that whole like section just like moved up with my finger like that, or to the side, you know. So that was kind of cool. It was literally like a tile of my reality being moved around on me. I like that kind of stuff, I like psychedelics. So that was weird. Other than that, um, this is not fun. The EEG was fun. I mean, fun, so to speak, because you can sleep, you can draw, you can do stuff. You're allowed to do it here, but man, they got me on some stuff, man. Oxycontins, some other shit, codeine, some muscle relaxers for chewing. So you're like a zombie, or I am anyway, and I don't want to do anything. And since they always wake you up, it's just not pleasant. I go from super hot to super cold without them messing with my head. So you get like a blanket, and it's not even that thick, but for some reason the blanket's on, sweating your ass off. So you do like proportions, like your knee exposed, my hip, my shoulder, and all right, that's a good temperature. And then I'll be asleep long enough just to get woken up. So it's wonderful. But today they're actually going to try to, I don't know how, but today's actually supposed to be sleep deprivation, but still on all these drugs. So I don't know how the hell that's going to happen. Probably just leave the light on. Yeah. So other tools of the trade, this thing, keep your that's supposed to help you because you're not, your lungs, because you're not moving around and all. It's supposed to keep your air or your lung strength. I got these things on my knees, actually below my knees on my calves that just like squish and then let go, squish and let go to prevent blood clots, massage. I got this. See that little cut? That's not usually there. Got some leakage. It's fun stuff. Yeah. So far, this is not fun. I do not like this. I'm not getting annoyed, so to speak, but they're all polite, but they know they're waking you up. So like, hey, sorry, what's your name? You're like, Jesus Christ. I know my name, but it's all protocol. So yeah, today I have, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just supposed to not try to sleep all day and all night. I don't know, but I've been sleeping pretty much the whole time I've been in here. So we'll see. Yeah. They didn't have to shave anything so far, which was nerve wracking because, well, first they said they're going to have to shave, like, there's going to be some tubes in my face, and they're going to have to shave it to adhere it to my face. And I mean, jokingly, not really, but I'm like, yeah, you can't shave my face, dude. And they didn't, and I don't have this tube, so I don't know if it's still coming or what. But the biggest one was the hair. I mean, it's all wrapped up here, but I've been growing my hair for 6 years, and it's gorgeous, obviously, and long and curly. It's like what people wish they had if they weren't me. Luck of the draw, right? Biology. What can you do? But there was Dr. Chen is my doctor. Now I know he thought I was joking at first, but by the end he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm dead serious about shaving my hair." So he, according to the nurses, didn't shave anything. It just really, really spread it. So thank you, Dr. Chen. I mean, he's pretty much bald, so I'm sure he can understand what it's like if you have hair at 46, and he kept it. Now, hopefully, they still keep it when they rip all this shit out too. But yeah, I hope anyone that has to go through this can sleep well. Only has these on one side, because then I'd be able to sleep. But since it's not, I just gotta. This is how I have to try to sleep, and it's not easy. So yeah, no seizures. Like I say, the closest was the nightmare. But I mean, and it was a horrible nightmare. I don't normally have nightmares. So it was, yeah, it was horrible, and it didn't count. So there probably, I mean, there must have been some seizure activity, or not seizure activity, but there must have been something recorded while I was, having this nightmare, I imagine. But we'll find out when they read it out, you know. So that's it. Thanks for checking in. There's here.